Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Gennadiy Golovkin scores a 9th round technical knockout over RYOTA Murata. Can't even say his name, can I? You know, that Murata guy, RYOTA Murata. Let me get it right. Okay, so 9 rounds. I predicted 10. I thought he'd stop him in 10, but I didn't make that prediction with any great confidence, because to me there was a big question. That was, Golovkin is now 40, or is today his birthday, or his birthday coming up, 40 years old. The layoff, which way was it going to go? Was it going to be beneficial to Golovkin? Because when you get to that age, sometimes those layoffs do your body a lot of good, because the older you get, the more you need time to recover. Was it going to be beneficial in that sense, or was it going to work against him and he was going to get old overnight? Well, the first round was give and take. I thought Golovkin's best bet to win this fight would be to box Murata, kind of like he did with David Lemieux. You know, not get involved, use that big, very accurate, very heavy jab of his and hang everything off the jab. Move a little bit, not run, but, you know, lots of semicircles and, you know, stay on the periphery of the zone. No. Golovkin didn't like that idea. He wanted to go straight at him, and he did. And in the first round, give and take, second and third round, I did not like what I was seeing from Golovkin. He looked old, I've got to be honest. He didn't look shot. He looked old. And he was taking some hellacious punches to the head and to the body. As usual, the head punches didn't bother him at all. When has he ever been hurt to the head? I can't really remember. Maybe momentarily shaken, but not buzzed to any degree. But the body punches were affecting him. Yes, they were. And Murata, when he was as fresh as a daisy, was looking as fresh as a daisy. He was looking in the ascendancy. He was looking like it was a changing of the guard almost in rounds 2 and 3. And then, having said that, I think in the 4th and 5th round, Murata his nose started to bleed, and that indicated that, you know, Golovkin, as you would expect, was getting through and having some sort of damage. But Murata's chin, there's nothing wrong with Murata's chin. I mean, if Golovkin's got an A+ chin or an A++ chin, Murata's chin is an A. But in the middle rounds, Golovkin, although his jab was excellent when he used it, and in the middle rounds, Murata stopped punching to the body. To me, the body punching was the key. It was so glaringly obvious. But for some reason, maybe he couldn't find his range. Maybe he just was lacking a bit of energy by the middle rounds. But Murata stopped punching to the body. Didn't have any effect to the head, obviously. And gradually, he was being ground down because Golovkin was finding his rhythm. And amazingly, when you consider the 2nd and 3rd round, was up in his work rate. I mean, this guy is one tough bastard, this Golovkin. He is. He's got one of the best chins I've ever seen on any fighter. And I mean that. I mean, this is Marvin Hagler stuff, this chin. Considering he gets hit so much, he's not difficult to hit at all. Not in the early rounds, anyway. Well, not when he wants to have a fight with you. But Murata just couldn't seem to maintain that pressure. And Golovkin took over in the middle rounds. And by rounds 7, 8, that sort of, yeah, 6, 7, 8. Definitely it was Golovkin who was almost born again within the fight. You hear people say about getting a second wind. This was definitely true of Golovkin. And he gradually, by about the 7th, he was starting to have a real effect on Murata. Not that Murata he was buzzed a couple of times, but he wasn't seriously hurt. But when he went back to his corner, the body language did not look particularly great. He wasn't about to quit on this massive stage. He's in his home country, of course, and he showed a ton of guts. But gradually, Golovkin was edging forward, up in the work rate. Again, I was amazed at how he upped that work rate. And he was having an effect on Murata. And the 9th round, Golovkin, actually on a couple of these rounds, but certainly in the 9th, he came out and he landed a huge... The first punch he threw was a knockout punch, or potentially a knockout punch. And for the first time, Murata looked very distressed. He back to the ropes. He spent a lot of time on the ropes, not really doing anything. Golovkin was letting him, when he got off the ropes, Golovkin was letting him come off the ropes, almost as if he wanted to reset. And when he did reset, again, he was having an effect. But Murata, no quitting the guy. 2 minutes into the ninth round, he started really having a go. I don't know whether it was a last stand, but he was, whatever he had left in him, he was leaving in that ring. And he was coming forward, he landing punches on Golovkin again to the head. Couldn't seem able to find the body punches. Maybe because of the range, he couldn't get close. Golovkin in the ninth round, at one point, 2 minutes in, seemed to have punched himself out a little bit because he was trying to get rid of Murata. But Murata walked into, I can't even remember what it was it a left hand or a right hand? I think it was a right hand from Golovkin. Spun, he sort of froze. There was that, that Terry Harper thing against Alicia Baumgardner where she sort of froze and was knocked out on her feet. There was an air of that. Murata seemed to freeze and then went down on both knees and the corner chucked the towel in. So it was a ninth round TKO for Golovkin. A mixed bag from Golovkin. Those early rounds look, if that was Canelo in there, I hate saying this about Golovkin because you just never know with this tough little sod, but I would have thought that Canelo would have got him out of there early. Certainly if Golovkin had fought Canelo at super middleweight with that sort of early tactic, I would have expected Canelo to knock him out. But you just never know with Golovkin. This guy, if you ever went into literal trench warfare in a war, this is the guy you'd want by your side. I'll bet Ukraine are wishing he was Ukrainian and not Kazakhstan, because they would love it. If they had soldiers, if Ukraine had soldiers made of the same stuff of Gennadiy Golovkin, the Russians would be shitting themselves and running like fuck. This is a terrifyingly tough, mentally strong fighter. And Murata, nothing really wrong with his performance. He didn't really do anything wrong. Did he take the foot off the gas with the body punching in the middle rounds? Maybe, maybe. But he used what he had at his disposal. It's just that Gennadiy Golovkin had too much for him in every department. And once the energy was drained out of Murata, he didn't have the variety of punch. He didn't have the imagination that Golovkin uses. Because when Golovkin goes to work, you can see you can almost see him thinking, the way he varies, the punches, the lefts and rights, body to head, head to body, right to left, left to right. I mean, it's kind of frightening. He dissects his opponents viciously. And so he did it with Murata, who lost his WBA middleweight title. Golovkin now holds the IBF, the WBA and the IBO for what that's worth. Canelo next at super middleweight. I don't like Golovkin's chances. And I hate saying that because I want Golovkin to win desperately. As I've said before in other videos, I don't trust Canelo or the Reynoso camp. I think there is a lot of illegal pharmaceutical activity going on there, shall we say. But Golovkin's the proudest of proud men. He wants to get in there with Canelo one last time. I don't fancy his chances, but my God, I'll be rooting the man on. So yeah, a mixed bag. Perhaps we were caught in the middle there. Perhaps he was looking old, but at the same time, had he not had the break, he might not have had what he presented today. Perhaps that break did do him a lot of good. But he's coming to the end of his career, Golovkin. A brilliant career, brilliant fighter, marvellous to watch. Murata can come back, maybe. He ain't a bad fighter at all. Tough man with a good jaw and a hard head. But yeah, today belonged to Golovkin. So what did you think of the fight? Did you see it? Let me know. Let me know your opinions. If you're new to this channel and you could subscribe, hit the subscribe button. It takes a second. It don't cost you anything. Please hit the subscribe button. I want to get those numbers up a little bit. And hit the like button if you like this video. And yeah, thanks for your time as always. We will speak again. Who we got tonight? Garcia and Tego, right? Yeah. We'll have a look at that one. Take care of yourselves until then. Speak soon. Bye for now.